Hey everyone, in less than 2 weeks, Andrew Lincoln is officially done with AMC's The Walking Dead, and Rick Grimes will no longer be a part of the show.
No! God, please, no! No!
I know, I'm bummed out too. How are they going to get by without Rick? I mean, he is the star of the show. Anyways, the big question on everyone's mind now is, how is Rick going to go? Is he just going to go off into the sunset and never come back, or is they going to kill him off? Well, here at Nerd Nation, we have 4 theories on how Rick is going to leave the show. So for our first theory, Maggie is going to kill Rick. Now, we already know that Maggie has been fed up with kind of how Rick's been running things, and we know that she certainly did not agree with his decision to keep Negan alive.
What gave Rick's way chance? It's time to see Negan.
We also saw from a preview of next week's episode that Jerry tells Rick of Maggie's plan, and he starts heading down to Alexandria to try to stop her. So next week's episode 4, season 9, is called The Obliged. This could be the whole Rick trying to get to Alexandria to stop Maggie, and he makes it there just at the end of the episode, leaving episode 5, what comes after, for his final confrontation. So this theory goes that in episode 5, which is going to be Rick Grimes' last official episode, that he gets there just before Maggie takes care of Negan, and the two of them get into a scuffle. It could be possibly that Maggie has a knife or a gun of some sort, and she's going to finish the job with Negan, and Rick steps in the way at the last second and kind of gets taken out by mistake. Now we know that Maggie wouldn't kill Rick on purpose, so in order for this theory to pan out, it's got to be an accident. We also know that episode 6, the week after that, is Lauren Cohen's last episode. Now it could be for this theory that so distraught over accidentally killing Rick because she was so consumed with rage and vengeance that she kind of resets and says, you know what, I'm not in the right state of mind right now, I gotta get out of town and I'm not fit to lead, I gotta leave. And that could explain why she exits the show. Now the showrunners did confirm that Lauren Cohen's character Maggie is leaving in episode 6, but she can make a return in season 10. So it could be that she's so distraught over killing her friend that she just has to take off, and it leaves it kind of open-ended for her to make a return in episode 10 for some triumphant rescue, save the day type of thing. So the second theory is that Rick is killed by Daryl. Now I know this sounds more absurd than the first one, but hear me out. We know from the last episode's preview of next week that Rick is on his way to Alexandria to try to stop Maggie. We also know from just snippets here and there that Rick and Daryl get into a really big fisticuffs. So the theory goes like this: Daryl tries to stop Rick from going to stop Maggie. And in the kind of confrontation of the two of them, Daryl accidentally kills Rick. Or Rick gets the best of him and starts to head off, and Daryl just has no other choice but to take him out. Or it could be he tries to incapacitate him with like an arrow and accidentally shoots the wrong spot and kills him. Now we know over the first 3 episodes of the season that Daryl and Rick exactly haven't been seeing eye to eye. They've been disagreeing a lot over how to handle things. Daryl had it his way, he would have killed all the saviors and just eliminated them once and for all. So Daryl is filled with a lot of rage right now, and he's filled with a lot of emotion, and accidentally killing Rick could kind of calm him down and take him down from being so vengeful and kind of uplift him to being the sort of leading man that AMC wants to turn him into. Because right now, nobody is going to root for Daryl when he's this bloodthirsty. I mean, well, almost nobody.
Oh, stop crying. What are you doing?
So the third theory goes is that Rick is taken captive by the helicopter people. Now we know from episode 3 that Anne confessed to Gabriel that she's been trading hostages to the people running the helicopter in exchange for supplies, and that she did plan on trading Rick and Gabriel from the start.
You traded people, yes?
Yes.
That's what you were going to do with me. With Rick.
So this theory goes that Rick finds Gabriel in trouble with the helicopter taken hostage. So it could be that Anne gets in touch with Rick and convinces him to meet her up somewhere, saying that Gabriel's in trouble. And he sees that Gabriel is tied up, about to be taken, and he volunteers to switch places with them. Later in the season, after Rick is gone, Gabriel is behind. He is still there, so we know he doesn't get taken by the helicopter people. The synopsis for the episode that comes after this one, episode 6, Where Are You Now? Gabriel's questioning a new group of survivors, so we know that he's not going to be the one that gets taken.
And who are you now?
So for this theory, he switches places with Gabriel voluntarily, and he gets taken off. Now this could also explain why Maggie leaves in the following episode. It could be that she's learned of what Rick does, and she decides to go after him herself. Maybe she feels bad for trying to kill Negan. Maybe she feels bad for trying to betray Rick like this, and everything that she's done. All the decisions she's made up to now has caused a lot of trouble. As you've seen with the Oceanside women killing the saviors, it's caused a lot of rift in the communities, and she might feel bad, and learning that Rick's been taken hostage, she might decide to go after him. So this theory would possibly explain why Lauren Cohen's leaving the show, why Maggie's leaving the show, and Rick are leaving the show just about the same time. This would also open up the door for Rick to make a return in season 10, season 11, or however long it goes on. Now, the biggest problem with this theory, though, is that it's very unlikely that Rick would leave behind Judith and Michonne. Even to sacrifice himself, it's still unlikely that he would leave behind the two most important people in his lives, especially after losing Carl. Michonne and Judith are all he has left at this point. Which leads us to our last theory. Rick is taken by the helicopter people by force. Same kind of setup. Anne gets a hold of Rick, tells him that Gabriel's in trouble, lures him into a trap, but this time the helicopter people are there waiting. She tells him, we got an A coming, get ready, we're going to capture him. He's not going to go easy, he's a really badass mofo. And when Rick shows up, they take him, they knock him out, they subdue him, and they take him by force. Now this would also leave Gabriel around to know about this, and he can tell the other people such as Maggie and Daryl and all them, and it would kind of the same as the last theory. Maggie gets worried about him, says, we got to find him, we got to bring him back, and then the following episode she takes off to go after him. Unlike the last theory, this one would explain why Michonne and Judith did not go with, because it's really unlikely that he would leave them out of his own free will. The only way he would really leave them, I can see, is he's either taken by force or he's killed. So Andrew Lincoln has said that he wants to go back to his home country and spend time with his family there. That he doesn't want his family growing up on the other side of the world. So it could leave the possibility open for Rick Grimes to return in a future season, same as Maggie. Maybe Andrew takes a year, 2 years off, and he starts to miss it and miss all his friends and the fame and all that, and he decides to come back. But anyways, we will find out in less than 2 weeks what officially happens to Rick Grimes. Which of these is your favorite theory? Do you think any of these are going to happen, or do you think it's going to be something entirely different? Leave your comments in the section below, and for the 5 of you watching this, let me know what you think, and until next time, keep on walking.